Far out dudes, far out dudes, far out dudes, far out dudes.
Far out dudes.
Hey everybody, welcome.
I had to put my headphones on.
Welcome and get ready for another
Far
week, another far out conversation on Far Out Dudes. I'm one of your hosts, Paul, along with my co-hosts Joseph and Jacob. How you guys doing today?
Doing good. Now that I had a Red Bull.
Now did you have a Red Bull? You now ready for the show?
Now that you've drinking even more caffeine.
Hyped up, bro. I
We just finished one of our other podcasts called Three Guys and a Drink, where we had another drink with caffeine in it that was brought to us, and Joseph just had more caffeine in him with Red Bull.
I've had probably about 6 cups of coffee worth.
Jeez. So everybody who's listening, don't forget Far Out Dudes also has a brother and sister show called Three Guys and a Drink. Please go out, please listen. But I also want to introduce one of our guests today, AJ. AJ, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
So AJ was a little afraid of our studio. We have a little closet space. And Jacob, what happened? What happened with the closet space?
So while you were downstairs, me, Joseph, and AJ went into the little closet space because AJ, we didn't have an extra chair for him. So he went to the closet to grab a chair, and he said he heard scratching on it. So, we being far out dudes went to go and investigate.
Okay.
And when Joseph tried to open the door, he goes, "Oh, the door's locked." And then he heard like something thud or something happened.
Something scratched on it.
Something scratched on it, and
We all
freaked
heard it.
out.
Yeah,
I didn't hear it.
We all heard it. Yeah, I heard the scratching. You heard it.
Can you talk a little bit closer to the mic? Tell us what happened.
So we all went in, like Jacob said, and he tried to budge on the door, and then all of a sudden we
So
heard
hold on,
something-
let me explain what the area that y'all went into for the listeners. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I want them to envision what it is you guys just experienced right now. So we're in our studio right now. We have a little closet space right next door, and that closet space is kind of like a little hallway, basically. And at the end of the hallway, it has 2 doors, and these 2 doors actually lead to kind of like a crawl space that you can do things. And so
You can do things for like the attic.
yeah, for the attic and things like that. Well, anyway, so just kind of envision just like a door that's on a room, and there's like, and when it opens, it's a hallway, and at the end of the hallway, you have 2 small doors, basically for little small people, And so go ahead. What happened? So what door were y'all trying to open?
And so the left door, the one that you go in, and then there's a door on the left when you go all the way down the hallway.
Okay, and what happened?
So Joseph tried to budge on the door to like open it.
A little bit
and,
closer to the
what-
mic. A little bit.
So y'all were looking for a chair in that closet.
No, we just went in there because I said I heard
It's
scratching.
Oh, you heard scratching
Yeah, I heard
already.
scratching the first time I went to go get the door.
Ah,
So and I
interesting,
ran out.
Okay.
And
And
then
you got
we
scared.
decided to go in there again, and this
Investigate.
time Joseph went in.
Yeah,
He tried to
let me
open the
just
door.
Go open the door, see what this goes to.
Yeah,
Now, I didn't know you had to like yank on it to open it, so I
Yeah.
just pulled like a normal door and it didn't open. I was like, oh, it must be locked or something.
There's no handle on it. How
And
would it be
then
locked?
I don't know.
It's literally.
we thought it was like nailed
But-
closed.
Oh, okay.
So I pulled on it. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I keep
something's
I
wrong.
keep human bodies in there.
And so I was like, oh well. And so as I
Keep my
turned, I
slaves.
just heard like a scratch.
yeah,
Like
we're
two scratches.
we're all going out all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden you just hear scratches, and we all ran out.
Yeah.
And I
It's
yelled
the
like a
spirit
little
of our
girl.
old fluffy cat.
I didn't hear any scratching. They all just got freaked out. So I started freaking out. And I ran out and I started laughing.
I like the intro to our Far Out Dudes today. That was good. Yeah, you guys experienced something.
Yeah.
So that's just a closet.
I mean,
space.
I wouldn't.
There's
I
nothing
wouldn't say
there.
It was supernatural. It was just
No,
like
it was
something-
definitely like some kind of animal, probably.
Yeah, it was probably like a rat or something.
Possibly.
I'm thinking like
Possum?
a possum or
Raccoon.
possibly a possum.
could have
or a
been
raccoon.
something like falling or something rubbing against something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe that too.
Or when you pulled the little thing, it sounds like a scratch door because the door is not very.
Yeah, maybe it
Yeah.
moved and sounded like a scratch. I don't
Or
know.
maybe it was just a demon scratching the door and trying to
It
freak
was
us out.
probably the
Or maybe
demon
you
cat
have
that
a-
used to live in this room.
Maybe you have a hobo living up there. It's like, oh shoot, I better get away from the door.
Oh yeah, that's true. And I didn't see him. He must be hiding behind the boxes.
He,
over
he
there.
sneaks out at night. Have you guys seen that video of that lady who
Yeah.
was living in that guy's apartment? She would come out of his vent or something and like eat his food and then climb back up there during the day. He was like, "Where's all my food going?" So he set up a camera and he caught her crawling out of like his vent or something,
What?
opening his fridge.
He
getting
actually
food.
married her.
No, he didn't.
No, she got arrested.
No, he kept her as a slave.
He was like,
Interesting.
As long as she keeps things clean, she can keep living up
As
there.
long as she's being tidy, because I didn't know how my food was disappearing, so she obviously was like washing dishes at night.
He
with
came home and found a huge log in his toilet.
she forgot to flush.
No, she would actually pee in the sink.
She would pee in the sink.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh,
It
okay.
is true. Either.
All right. So today Joseph has our far out conversation starter here. So Joseph, go ahead and hit us off. What do we got? What'd you bring for us today?
What I have for discussion today is the Faceless Thing of Dahlonega.
Faceless Thing.
Yeah, Faceless Thing. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. You looked it up.
Let's see how you pronounce it. I
Dahlonega.
actually have it right here.
Let me spell it for everyone who's wondering. It's Dahlonega. Go ahead.
Dahlonega.
Dahlonega.
Oh, let me do it again.
Do it again.
Are you gonna do it again?
Dahlonega.
Dahlonega.
We heard. I heard it through the headphones.
Did you hear it that time?
Yes.
Let me do it again.
Dahlonega.
Sounded the same. But
It's
yeah, it's
Dahlonega.
Dahlonega, Georgia. The Faceless Thing
Dahlonega, Georgia.
of Dahlonega, Georgia.
And
I was-
wait, hold on. It's literally called the Faceless Thing. Like, there's not like the faceless human or the faceless animal or
No.
just
Also,
Faceless Thing.
I was looking around on my confidential sites that I browse. I can't give away my sources, obviously.
Okay, y'all can just Google that, and I'm
I
pretty
can't-
sure y'all find it.
I came across a small story, and I say small because it's just their account of what happened. It's not, a huge phenomena, or it's not overhyped or, crazy, like everything else. And that's what got me. It's their, own account. They submitted it online because they saw this thing personally. They're not getting anything out of it. There's no money, no book deals, or, anything fancy about it.
Okay.
Let's see. So their story goes, they were leaving church just after dark. There wasn't any detail on what time, just that it was after dark. And when they got to the end of the driveway to the right, they saw something. And here's a quote from, what they put in their story. I saw a hairless humanoid creature walking across the road about 11 yards to my right. There was a nearby street light, so I could see it fairly clearly. It had a completely normal human shape with tan, leathery-looking skin and no clothing at all. It was the size of a 4-year-old child and walked like a normal human.
So it was like completely hairless,
Yeah, with like tan, leathery skin, apparently.
tan, leathery skin. Could have been just like a Mexican with no hair, like a 4-year-old, like
Walking around naked?
yeah.
He did say it was the size of a 4-year-old child. Walking
To me,
human.
it sounds like it might have just been a kid walking around naked, and somebody's not taking care of their child properly.
Well, I mean, you think they know the difference
Poor thing
between
probably has cancer.
a humanoid. Well, it gets interesting.
Okay, so it was just a humanoid, so they didn't see a face.
A humanoid shape.
Oh, they
but-
just saw the shape. It was in the light.
Yeah. They said when they first saw it, it was from the side, but wait, no. They said when they first saw it, it was from the side, but when it was mostly across the road, it then turned its head like it meant to like look at them. And when it did, they were able to see the face more clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another quote from their story.
Okay.
I could see that it had no eyes, nose, or lips. It had smooth indentions where the eye should have been, a smooth slight protrusion where the nose should have been, and nothing where the mouth should have been. It also had no noticeable ears.
How?
It did not respond to me noticing me. It did not respond to noticing me other than the 2 seconds it faced toward me. It continued on a straight path up a small embankment and into the woods. As it climbed up the embankment, it crawled on all fours the same way a human might when climbing up a steep hill.
Oh. So
Based on-
how far was this again? How far was
It
this
says
humanoid?
11 yards,
I mean, that's
which is like, what, 30
so that's pretty
feet or
far in the
something like
dark that you may have not been able to see it properly. You know.
that? Yeah.
But I mean, who's to know?
Based on your description, I drew an image.
But it doesn't have any eyes, nose, or mouth.
Yeah,
Well,
it
it
didn't have
doesn't-
anything. It said indentions, not small or
weird.
no.
Yeah. So what you drew is not a depiction of it at all from their description.
Yeah.
And it started crawling on all fours like a human.
When it went up the embankment, it said it started crawling on all fours like a human would. So, like, you're obviously
Yeah.
crawling. It looked that way. It didn't like have some weird thing happen to it or
No,
anything.
no.
It just started crawling up like it normally would.
Oh.
And if you go, Jacob, share my screen real quick.
Okay.
If you look up where Dahlonega, Georgia is, it's about 2 hours north of Atlanta, and it's a small town, like nearly in the middle of nowhere. And where the small town is, I'll show you real quick.
Okay, I edited my drawing.
It
So
still looks
It
like
still looks like
it has
it.
something.
Yeah.
But this is Dahlonega right here.
Okay.
And you can see, like, there's hardly anything around it.
A lot of
So
vegetation.
you go south, and there's
George, Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, Atlanta's more south.
Okay.
But
Oh,
anyways.
look, there's Kroger. Oh, that's just the store.
So, yeah.
There's
so
not a Kroger,
Dahlonega
Georgia.
is, I mean, if I zoom out even more, there's like nothing around it.
Yeah, it's probably one of the
It's got a lot of hills.
out of the
and a lot
nowhere
stuff.
kind of cities.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly.
Small town in the woods, in the backwoods.
Yeah, and if you it's I mean, you just filled it in with black.
Yeah.
But they said it was walking from the direction of a gravel road, which is the road's called Lee Anderson Road, between a pump and a well business and an old barn.
Maybe he just needed fuel for his ship.
Maybe. It walked north across Cavender Creek Road and into the woods on the other side in the direction of Ricketts Lake. The area has lots of hay fields, woods, hills, and creeks. Further north is a national forest. And if you look in the area in the direction it's going, what they're saying is obviously true in the sense that they didn't make anything up or some fake like little town or anything.
Okay.
And what I noticed is the lake that's there is surrounded by like a small forest and scattered houses.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'll show you right now, if you look a little more north, there is like that national forest.
Okay. National forest. Gotcha.
And what I would like to show you is, what I like to say also, I should say, is that it happened near water. It happened near the lake.
oh, water.
But here is Lee Anderson Road here. And they said it was walking. Are you paying attention to me or doing your stupid drawing?
I'm just trying to draw what you see so that way when we...
That was like 10 minutes ago when I was freaking describing what it looked like.
Okay, sorry, Charlene. Go ahead.
Here's Lee Anderson Road, though.
Okay.
And that pump and that old barn.
And
he
it was
talking
walking
about.
down the Lee
It was
Anderson
walking
Road or
this
going
way,
up the... Okay.
Up Lee Anderson Road toward
That looks like a golf field.
Ricketts
Somebody
Lake.
doing golf? Oh, okay.
There's
Hey,
Ricketts Lake.
that's a little foresty area. Things can
Yeah.
be hiding in there.
Yeah. But more north of it,
Like faceless humanoid things.
that walk up the size of a 4-year-old child.
Yeah.
But if you walk up north too, you get into a national forest, which is just more and more, just wilderness out there. But he was coming from church.
So he was walking from church?
He was at the driveway and to his right. So I'm guessing he had to been like over here.
Okay.
And that's like
He was to
Maybe.
the left of Lee Anderson Road.
the
Driving downward, okay.
What's it called?
He saw it
The
crossing
dirt
the
road.
street.
The dirt road. It was crossing. It was coming from this road
Mhm.
between these two, the well shop or business, and the old barn that you see right here.
Okay.
So it was walking up north, and he said it was walking towards Ricketts Lake, and so it crawled up this embankment right here.
Okay.
And
There's
as
an
you can see,
embankment. Mm-hmm.
There's like nothing here. It's just like a clear shot of.
Oh, I can't
wilderness
see
to it.
now because Jacob took it off of the. Okay, now I can
There's
see
like,
again because Jacob put the screen back on again.
And if you look around it, like I said, there's like scattered houses.
Yeah.
So there could be, something in there.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's a little house right there.
And like I said too, I want to say is that it happened near water, Ricketts Lake.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the water part is important to know.
Yeah, because everything like crazy aliens and just kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
paranormal. I think
cryptology,
cryptozoology.
yeah, it's kind of stuff happened. Is there's always like a lake or body of water nearby.
I think because of what we've learned is like life needs water, right? So, and we are one of the few planets, even within our solar system, that has water. So, if anything were to come visit us, bald-headed,
beer.
faceless humanoid, size of a 4-year-old child, they would want to probably be near water, and maybe potable water, not necessarily seawater, right?
Salt water or something.
Yeah,
Because it
maybe
always
fresh
happens
water.
like near lakes and stuff where it's fresh water and not so much
Yeah.
ocean salt water. Maybe they still haven't gotten that technology to deionize or
Yeah.
something in the water.
They've been able to fly across space to get to us,
Yeah.
but they haven't figured
How the
out
hell
how
do
to
we take this salt out of the water and drink it?
How do we make it potable for us that we can drink this water? What's going on here?
Why don't we just go to lakes
Oh yeah, why?
surrounded by humans?
Boom.
But they go on.
And since California's like always in a drought, that's probably why they never visit California.
Yeah, they never go out that way.
Yeah.
They're like, too
But
many fires.
but they'll go to Area 51 where it's like desert.
Well, that's where we were
Collect
testing
them?
things out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's where we collect
That's where we
aliens.
send them because knowing they want water, we put them in the middle of the desert. Like,
Perfect.
you get away, you ain't going nowhere.
You're gonna be lost.
You want this ball of water, you better stay right here
Yeah.
in the secret Area 51.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, AJ? What do you think about the story I've told so far?
It's interesting. I'm still listening. I'm just
Okay, but
yeah.
what do you think about it? Have you heard this before? Do you think that there are
No.
little bald, faceless little humanoids walking around?
No, not that I know. I've
Why?
never
Why?
seen.
Why not? When we have a story here from
Well,
somebody.
because I'm a
you
see
kids
to
these days believe everything on the internet.
No, not really, not me.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
kind of a see to believe kind of person. Where I
Okay.
have to see it to believe it.
By the way, I want to also toss out, I know it's a little too late, but it's better late than never. The story was submitted by Brian, doesn't give a last name.
Okay.
This was back in November of like 2003, 2004.
So I guess you'll eventually get to this, but I'm guessing other people have seen this humanoid in that area.
I'll get to that, yeah.
Okay.
But look
okay.
at this, a nice little rendering kind of
A
what he
depiction
saw.
of what it
Yeah.
looks like.
Kind
Okay.
of what, how it may
look.
look.
The door's open, so she should be able to walk around.
Oh.
Okay.
So they go on to say they haven't told many people about it.
It kind
Because-
of makes me think like somebody's like kidnapped somebody, and that little humanoid person is just like a little person that like ran away.
With no eyes,
With-
mouth, ears.
Well,
no.
I mean, like I said, the distance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you can still make that stuff out from a distance if
well,
you have.
the one of the comments that they said was that they can see the indentions in right.
Yeah,
So-
intentions where it should be,
I mean, if the lights are flashing on it,
or if they had like a mask on or
Right?
something,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
was
Was it light or
what
dark
you called
outside?
It was
pantyhose
dark
or
outside.
something.
It was dark outside.
It was
Okay,
dark.
so
Yeah.
yeah, maybe just the shadows on the
They're-
face
they're
knocked
little-
out the features, so
their
it
little
looked a little.
4-year-old that ran away in his underwear.
Possibly,
But I'm guessing nobody had reported their little 4-year-old running around in underwear, huh?
well, to go back to Jacob's question, they were leaving church just after dark,
Okay.
not
Okay.
twilight or
or
sunset
dusk or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Trying to add you so I can see it, so I don't have to keep looking back. So can you add it?
Alrighty.
Yeah, add you so I
So
can
carry on.
So they go on to say they haven't told many people about it because they either think they're making it up, they were on drugs, or something.
Well, in
which,
Georgia, they were probably on meth,
some
just to
methamphetamines.
discriminate against you Georgians.
Yeah, they
I like to do those kinds of things.
backcountry myth going on. I don't know where I was going with that. But they said neither of which was true. They weren't, drunk or on drugs or making it up or anything. And also they have tried looking up online to try to find something that matches or resembles what they saw,
Yeah.
and they couldn't find anything. Their hypothesis is it lives somewhere out in a cave. They say there are plenty out there around where they live.
Where
And I
that
can-
water is, though?
Well, like just around the area, like the national forest that's like
Okay.
a mile or two up the road where
Okay.
it starts. And
So they're making an educated guess.
yeah, of where it lives or what it might be
Hmm.
because they have no idea.
That's a very good hypothesis.
Yeah, that's not how I said it. What did I
Oh,
say?
hypothesis.
Is that what I said?
I think that's a very good hypothesis.
What if
Uh,
what if it was a raccoon?
A 4 foot
How?
tall raccoon
Oh,
walking
I thought you said it was
bipedal?
a 4-year-old, not a 4
See, that's what happens when you're trying to
That's- yeah.
render.
What
Well,
it looks
4-year-olds are.
When we're saying it's just a faceless.
4-year-olds
feet
are
that
not 5 feet tall. 4 feet tall.
I mistakenly said 4 feet, but yeah, walking on upright.
Yeah,
Yeah.
raccoons walk upright.
Raccoons are typically the size of 4-year-old kids.
And they also have
Yeah.
fur.
No.
They also have a snout,
maybe
and not
a-
And they're also
humanoid
not
shape.
faceful. They're not also not faceless.
Okay, so we've obviously ruled out a walking raccoon.
But they say there are plenty caves out there that they can hide, and that may be why, or may explain, I should say, why it didn't have any eyes, no nose, ears, all that other stuff. No idea. No big deal.
Okay.
But eyes, that's what it may be. That may be why.
No.
No explaining why the other stuff was missing, but caves, no eyes.
Okay. Okay.
Some have told them it may have been an alien.
Mm-hmm.
They don't believe it because if it was, it would have been startled when it saw him, and it wasn't carrying anything. Quote, it seems
yeah,
like...
because when I see aliens, they're always carrying something, like a suitcase.
Yeah. Well, here's the quote.
They're here to visit, so they always bring their their suitcase, looking for a hotel
The
to stay in.
luggage and everything.
Yeah.
Something has a vacancy or not.
Yeah, so I can understand them with not seeing this humanoid thing carry anything. So
Like, he's obviously not an alien. He's
Yeah.
not carrying his luggage.
he doesn't have a suitcase here.
He
He
said,
didn't travel.
He said, the quote says, it seems like if it was an alien that ventured far from its craft, it would have been carrying something, either for protection, navigation, or collecting samples.
Oh, okay.
So, with
he's
all
also-
this, so with
this
all
guy
this,
who saw this is also an alien expert.
yes,
Yeah.
he's like, aliens obviously always have something in their hands
They either have a weapon
for collecting samples,
or they have their suitcase for sampling.
or something for navigation.
Yeah. I mean, since it didn't have its backpack on, definitely not an alien, right? His little
The little backpacks.
yeah.
Hey.
I didn't see
Green
a
away.
camera on him, so he's definitely not a tourist
Yeah, he's
So,
not running around going
from another planet. Yeah.
taking pictures everywhere.
Yeah.
Because aliens still have those old-fashioned
Yeah.
type cameras that we have to take pictures.
Yeah.
They're hipster aliens, so they have those
So-
old-fashioned cameras.
Yeah, I guess this alien was just kind of chugging along.
Well, that's
Or,
the whole thing.
sorry,
he's
humanoid.
saying
Sorry,
it's not.
humanoid.
He's giving the reasons why it's not an alien.
What if it was a fairy?
I mean, who knows?
A
But
fairy?
with all that being said, what do y'all think? Plausible? They exist? They didn't see something right, or what?
I think they just didn't see something right, but I would
Same.
have to say that I don't like how he I don't like that how they
Described it.
well, not described it, but God, my words are leaving me.
It's typically what happens. They
Taking it. I don't like the way they.
came up with their own
Described it?
agenda about it or
Okay,
something.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I
You
can
know,
see
I
why
was
they
gonna-
could think it's a humanoid, but I just don't like the fact that they rule out aliens just because they didn't see something. They didn't see
Yeah,
that
have
person
anything in
holding.
He didn't have
something,
his
yeah.
luggage with his tourist outfit on.
Yeah,
and
he didn't.
everything.
He didn't wear like a hat that says
You
he's
know-
from Jupiter or something. You know.
It might have been a fairy, to be honest,
I don't know. I don't know about that.
because it seemed like it was familiar with humans, so it didn't run away or anything when it saw a human. And fairies have been in the lore in human lore for quite a while, all the way going back to Native Americans, Native Europeans.
So what? You got a giant booger coming out of you. There you go.
Yeah, put it on a plastic wrapper. Smart.
But fairies.
Yeah, fairies, because it
are,
has a
are we talking about
small,
like fairies? Not what,
small, slender body.
but that seems pretty big for a fairy. I'm thinking like. So
Well,
are you
maybe it
saying
was a
like?
big boy fairy? Maybe it was a giant fairy.
Are you saying that most fairies are not as small as we think of, like Peter Pan fairy, like
Yeah.
Tinkerbell?
Yeah,
Aren't
this was
fairies
a
supposed to have
And what about the wings?
Yeah, what happened to the wings?
Do they not have
in
wings?
a lot of fairy lore. They don't have wings.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of different fairies, not so much like Tinkerbell style.
Okay,
you know?
so I guess what
Well-
we've found out from our own understanding is that I just don't like that how they are ruling out aliens. I don't think that makes any logical sense.
You got a real vendetta about him.
Well, I just think that it like he wasn't carrying anything, so it must have not been an alien. That doesn't.
Yeah.
To me, that's
Well,
not
his
sufficient
other-
evidence
his
to say that's not an
other
alien.
argument about it was normally aliens don't want to be seen, and when it like turned to, even though it didn't have any eyes or facial features,
Yeah.
like it didn't get startled or try to hide when it turned toward him. It just
That's
kept
true.
like going up the embankment.
Like it's
Can't hear
strolling
you.
along.
It's true. What?
That's
So,
true. That it
Why
didn't
didn't
get
he
scared or
chase
anything.
after it or get a
Dang.
flashlight or try to do something?
Because he was, it says he was leaving church after dark. I mean, you don't leave somewhere and expect to see something.
Yeah,
like that,
after leaving church,
turning
I feel
to the
like there
right.
might be demons out. That's why I'm always
Maybe they
on the
expelled
lookout.
a demon from somewhere, and the demon was just lost trying to find
Yeah.
its next host or something
Yeah, and most of them look like humanoids with no eyes. Demons.
with indentions.
There's one in the closet space, always trying to get out, but I put a
you
nice little
you put a rag so
Yeah,
it couldn't fit
so it
its
can't get
fingers
out.
through
Yeah, to open the
the
door.
little thing. That makes sense. It makes a lot more sense what that scratching was now.
I don't know. I think it could be anything at this point. So what do they say that it may be? Does he have any understanding of like what he thinks it is, or do you have more information for us?
No, that was it. He
Okay.
doesn't know what it was, what it could have been. He said he's said in there that he's tried to look up something that matches to try to find answers. But
So was there anybody else who've seen this stuff?
no, it's just him.
Just him.
That's where it comes into play that
We don't know what
no one else. He hasn't found anything that just looks the same description or.
has he started like a search party to go out there trying to look?
Well, it could be in like a national forest.
I mean that's pretty interesting though at the same time, but it's hard to believe when that's
I can
the
hear
only
you picking your nose.
that's the only sighting, and he's the only one.
But yeah, that's what made it kind of interesting. I mean,
That's what makes it less
you
believable.
got it. Well, yeah, it makes it less believable. Also adds to maybe a little bit believable because it's not like everybody saw it or something. It's
you know
this
what?
person's account of what happened. It's not everybody saw it. Here's this grainy, shaky footage or some fake little picture or something that they try to take. It's just an account of what he saw. He's like I say, he's not trying to get anything out of it. I mean, what is he going to get out of this?
So how did this story come to like? Who contacted him to get this story? Like, I don't
the
understand how it
site
went out.
that I reference, I go to my secret site. People can submit their stories about stuff they've seen.
His
Can
site
I-
is Fight URL.
Can I just say
or something like whatever.
maybe it was a mini Slender Man?
Well,
'Cause
Slender Man
it was
was
a baby.
as officially
was
known to be
debunked.
made up.
Yeah.
It's
It was
not-
a baby
Well, maybe
Slender
it was
Man.
maybe it was a baby Slender Man
Yeah.
because it doesn't have any features
baby Slender Man
and
It could've been
leathery.
leathery. Tan
Wasn't he
skin.
driving towards it?
No, he was at the end of a driveway, and it was 3 yards or something like that.
Oh,
So I
30
guess
yards to
when
his
he
right.
was trying to look up to see if anybody else had seen this, he probably like ran into a site where he wanted to talk to people, see if anybody else has seen it. Like I'm just trying to figure out how this story got out. If he's the only one person and he didn't want anybody else to know about it.
anyone else, someone else. I mean, I showed you on Google Maps where the place is. There's like no one around there. What
Yeah.
are the odds someone else is looking in that general area where that thing is and sees that thing walking by?
It'd be crazy if
And
you
like
were-
the minute it was there.
yeah, it'd be crazy if you like zoomed in on Google Maps and it's like chilling there, like
Like the Google car passing by is
Yeah.
just like this behind a tree, like, looking behind the tree.
he's like, whoa.
It's pretty bad at hiding whatever
Yeah,
it is.
it's not very good. It's probably because he doesn't have eyes.
I mean, you can't see where he's going.
he
He keeps bumping into stuff, trying to find his way back to the lake or something.
was probably trying to find its way, like crawling up the
Like all
embankment.
day. Instead of walking, he's just like crawling up because he doesn't know where he's going.
He can only sense the light. That's why he turned. He was like,
Yeah, when he took forever.
no one ever chases me or helps me, so I guess I'm just gonna keep going.
Help! I can't scream for help. I have no mouth.
I can't even hear
Leave me
anybody.
Back where I was.
I just feel the warmth of the light beaming on me.
What if he just came from the McCaney manor and he got his mouth and eyelids sewn shut?
Well, that's in Tennessee, so he's gone a long way to Georgia, middle of nowhere.
That's why he
Georgia.
was so thin and skinny and tanned because he was been out in the heat.
And he had a mask on him, like just a dirty mask.
Yeah.
Case closed. Let me
Boom, done.
Let me
Boom.
message Jeffrey or whatever his name
Thanks for.
I
thanks
just
for
again,
watching
I'm a
4
little
Hour
upset at
Dudes.
this guy. Like, totally negating the fact that this thing may be an alien.
Well, he
Just because it didn't have
he's
anything.
not saying it's not. He says he doubts that it is an alien because
You know, I
it wasn't
think-
carrying his probing mechanism.
If
That's
he
what I
had-
was about to say. I think he got probed, and he didn't want people to think he got
and they
probed.
put him back
was
in his
ashamed.
they put him back in his car too early. He woke up too early and saw the
Yeah,
alien
he
walking
was
off.
ashamed of being probed, of being violated by the alien,
Mhm.
and he didn't want people to think that. So he's like, "Oh, it definitely wasn't an alien. Didn't have a probing device."
Well, let me ask y'all. Have y'all seen anything like that? Like something you were driving and you're just like, even if you know or think it was like not what it was. Have you ever been in that situation?
One day when
Yeah.
I was coming home from grabbing food,
Mhm.
I got out of the car and then I just saw something jump over a fence. It was like,
How?
and then landed,
How did it go?
and then it ran away.
How did it go?
And it was a freaking deer.
Well,
Okay.
thanks for
So-
keeping us on the edge there.
So one night when me and my wife were driving home, we took this back road. It was weird because we were just like, let's stay safe because it's late, and I don't want to drive on like the main roads, on like the freeways and
A
stuff
bunch of
because
crazy people are.
yeah, everybody getting drunk and stuff. So we were driving down this one road, and it's weird, and it's probably just a person, but in the distance we could see this human figure. I don't want to say humanoid figure. It was probably a human.
Well,
right?
humanoid means it's in the shape of like a human.
Okay.
Human shaped thing.
Yeah. So we can barely see it from where we were at, but we could see it walking.
Mm-hmm.
But it was keeping up with the car. Like it was
How fast
keeping up
were you
with
going?
us. It was
What the
maybe
heck?
40 mile per hour. I don't know.
Hmm.
But it was
It's pretty fast.
yeah.
What?
And so yeah, it was moving really, really quickly. And so it was weird because we kind of just kept looking back, and we're just like, what is that? Right? At one point, and I don't know if this was just like our eyes imagining things, but it almost looked like it leaped into the air.
Uh-huh.
You know?
This guy's going nuts over there. Why are you laughing so hard?
And then it landed, and so it kind of freaked us out a bit. But what was weird is that, I guess kind of like when I don't know, like I don't know if it was like the car. I don't know if it was like the car and how the
The car.
how the car like flashed its light, like another car behind us, kind of like for some reason I think it was coming from the other direction, like no, from the left side of us. The car was coming, and as we were going, the headlights kind of beamed on it, and it looked just like a regular scarecrow to us in the field.
What?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Oh, like in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So something was running after y'all.
That's nuts.
Something was running after
I don't
y'all.
know if it was running. All we know is that it was keeping up with the vehicle pretty
And it
well.
jumped.
But then it made me, yeah.
Was it silent when it jumped? Like you didn't
I
hear?
didn't hear anything. Yeah.
Well, one time when I was, I went to
school?
the, y'all remember when I was little and I went, y'all remember when I was little and I went to that camp, right?
I never remember when people were little.
Okay, well,
Nope. No camp here.
in like 7th or 8th grade, we went to this camp for taking a test, and
Was it an HIV test?
no, it was like this.
No, it was full blown AIDS
It was like
test.
the end of the year
no.
school test to advance to the next level. So they took us to this
That's so
camp for
weird.
about 2 weeks,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and there was this ledge, and
Why are you laughing so
And when we
hard?
went to the
Because it's
camp,
gonna be the Jason story.
You mean like you with Jeepers Creepers? Like, it was so obvious.
I was
what you were saying.
I was actually in that movie Jeepers Creepers, and it was funny because AJ actually looked
oh
at me
my
like,
god,
it was real.
He was like this. Are you serious? Wow.
I did.
And it was really following you.
Bro.
So-
I just gave you the plot
The
or
plot Jeepers
of
Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers.
So
Look at he's so disappointed.
He's just
Yeah.
like, I can't believe you led me on like that.
okay, silence. Okay, so when I was in
Don't
the
tell me
7th,
silence. Silence.
999.
so when I was in the 8th or 7th grade, I can't remember when, we went to this camp, And there was this legend when we were there at the camp that this kid who drowned there, like his mother drowned him. His mother or grandma drowned him. So while we were there, everything seemed cool. We were all having fun. And then one of the kids
Was it on a lake?
Yeah, it was on a lake.
What was the name of the lake?
I forget the name of the camp. It was like, I think it was, I don't remember. I don't want to say it either because
Was it near Lake Havasu?
no. So
Do you
one of
not
the
want to
kids-
say it? Why don't you want to say it?
because
Is
I
it
don't
disturbing
remember.
to think about?
All I remember it was called tax camp.
Was it near like Crystal
Tax
Lake?
camp? You were doing
Tax camp.
taxes?
Yeah, because in Texas you take the tax test. What?
What kind of
Was
kind
it
of
near?
taxes were
Was
y'all
it
doing?
near Crystal Lake? Like the camp near Crystal Lake?
No. I don't remember where it was at. I just remember it was called
Because
tax
that's what
camp.
the actual lake is in the movie.
Can you-
Oopsie. I'm guessing the guy that got drowned was named Jason.
You know, one time I had
Was his
I
last
was
name
having
like
a dream, right?
Voorhees or something?
All right, so now that we know that you were just going to give the plot for Jason, AJ,
Go ahead.
tell us what you have for us now that everybody's discovered that mine was just the Jeepers Creepers.
So
we didn't just discover. We knew like
no, you didn't.
halfway through. If
You
look
knew
at the
halfway through
thing.
because he put Jeepers Creepers on the thing.
No, when you said it was following at 40 miles an hour and then jumped out of nowhere.
No,
Like, okay.
you thought it was.
I
you
thought it
didn't
was
know
James Charles.
dude, I thought you were having a near-death experience. I thought something was about to kill y'all.
Yeah, I know. That was,
No,
that was a
that's not
perfect
what
dream
a
about it.
near-death experience
No,
is. by
no,
the way.
I know, but like,
He thought I was going to end up getting to a point where we had a near-death experience with
Yeah.
something
No.
weird.
Like something was there.
Yeah, it was. It was Jeepers Creepers. He was in that field.
The Jeepers Creepers. You
The-
found the place where it only
Yeah.
comes out every 13 years?
I guess that night,
23rd year?
I
23
think that night I was out
Hmm.
during his 13-year feasting he needed to do.
It feasts every 23 years for 23 days or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. We just made it.
Yeah, yeah.
We made it out.
You're like, 5 minutes. We just got to survive 5 minutes.
Definitely a humanoid. Just this one had face, teeth, and
And then wings.
yeah, wings.
This one winked at you.
Yeah. So AJ, what do
With
you
his
think
eye.
about the humanoid and what was the name of the place again in Georgia? Dahlonega.
Oh,
Dahlonega.
my story?
Dahlonega.
I don't know.
Dahlonega.
One time I was having a dream, and I woke up and I was actually bleeding IRL.
Whoa, that's too much information.
Thanks for
buddy.
the random story interjection.
What? I don't understand.
He had a dream, woke up, and he was beating his meat for real.
No,
Oh,
I
that's
did
disgusting.
Not, did not say that.
But my story.
That doesn't seem very far out.
My story goes.
Scissor hands.
What? You got to go into a little more explanation there,
Yeah,
buddy.
you're not
Freddy
helping, man.
Krueger.
You're just literally right.
You were asleep. What were you dreaming of? Why did you wake up? What? I mean,
you're
I
bad.
was dreaming and somebody
Four.
was chasing me in my dream.
You're literally bad at the storytelling, man.
Five,
Dude, you know what? Let's just
four,
restart.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, AJ. So tell us about something that's happened to you that's kind of freaked you out a
What do
little
you
bit.
got?
One time I was at my grandma's house and I fell asleep on the couch
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know what time it was because everybody left me
Freddy Krueger.
downstairs. No. Everybody left me downstairs and I think it was like 2 a.m. maybe.
Okay.
And I was going up the stairs and I turned the light on and while I was walking up the stairs I looked to my left and I saw a woman.
What's toward the left? When you're looking?
To the left is a railing. It's like it goes upstairs and there's a railing for the kids so they don't fall down.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a room where I was looking and I saw a woman crawling into that room on all fours and she just had like a disgusted look on her face.
Hmm.
And I asked if it was my grandma and she obviously said no. So I ran up
You
the
asked
sta-
a woman if she was your grandma?
Yeah, because
So while she was crawling into the room, you
You
asked her if she was
Are you
your
my grandma?
yeah, because she looked like my grandma but she had like a distorted face,
Oh, okay.
which is your mother. And
Oh, cool. Thanks for giving that away.
and I ran upstairs and I started banging on Jacob's door, and everybody came out and it wasn't. I don't know. It just freaked me out.
Do you
'Cause
remember that
I
happening?
saw a
Jacob,
woman
him
crawling.
banging and
Yeah, that happened. And he was banging on my door, and I didn't want to open it up because I didn't want that woman to come into my room. She's
so
known
it,
to haunt
it
our house.
crawled into an open room.
It was closed, but she started crawling it slightly open because their door wasn't locked. So it was just open.
Who was in that room?
My grandma and grandpa.
I know of your grandma and grandpa typically crawling on all fours up the stairs very awkwardly at night. I've known them to do that.
Do you?
I do.
Well, I didn't know that. Anyways,
And they usually like to have a song playing while they do those things though.
anyways, another thing
Typically like Barry White or something.
No,
another thing
it's,
I did was
they actually like it. They like the song playing. The Freaks Come Out at Night.
I was downstairs by myself again, and I threw a paper towel in the trash can. And while I was walking away, the light was on, so I was running, and I turned off the light and tried running, but the light was obviously on, so I went back, turned it off, and while I was walking away, I seen the paper towel just fly out of the trash can.
You saw
you
toilet
turned
paper?
around and the
I-
light was obviously on.
Yeah, the light was on because I forgot. I didn't. I
Turn it
missed the
off?
light running
Mhm.
back, so I went back. I turned it off, and while I was walking away, the paper towel flew out of the trash can and landed back on the floor. And I ran upstairs.
Your
told my
doo-doo
mom-
toilet paper?
Huh? No, it was just a regular toilet paper. After I washed my hands, I dried my hands off.
With
On toilet paper?
No, I mean a paper towel. My bad. My bad.
Oh,
my
okay.
bad.
That's very
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Okay.
And
I think I'm more suspicious of you using toilet paper to dry
anyways,
your hand.
after I went,
That's weird.
I ran upstairs, told my mom, and she came downstairs, and there was nothing on the floor. It was in the trash can. But I seen it go down.
You saw it fly out.
Yeah, I
and
seen
land.
it fly out and land on the
Snap.
floor.
That's crazy.
Interesting. Well, my story is when I first met my previous girlfriend, I went to go pick her up from like College Station
Mm-hmm.
around there. She's having
Yeah.
a bad time at a Halloween party. So I went to go pick her up.
Poor thing.
And driving back, she was a little on the
Drunken side?
yeah. So
Okay.
she was like asleep, leaning over asleep. And driving back, we're nearing a gas station. It was like misty
Mm-hmm.
because it was like Halloween time.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect setup, by the way. But as I was driving, there was I forgot how fast I was going, but you know the road from like College Station to here,
Mm-hmm.
going back down south, you go like 75 or something like that. So I
Mhm.
think I was going like 80. I was going pretty fast.
Yeah.
But as we came up toward like the gas station, probably I don't know how fast I was going fast, so it could have been a couple 100 feet or so. In front of it, there is a black dude, no shirt on, with
Racist.
jeans, in the middle of the road like this, like his arms out, and just like facing toward the way I was coming.
Okay.
And I had to like swerve a little bit to avoid hitting him or like taking his freaking arm off.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, oh shit. And she like wakes up. She's like, what happened? I was like, there's some dude just like in the middle,
Standing in the middle.
in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And I guess she was awake or like she was looking at the road or something. I thought she was asleep, but she was like, I didn't see anything. Like that didn't happen. I was like, I don't know
Was
what
it-
the hell I saw
I
then.
think she was drunk and half asleep and probably didn't see
She,
the dude.
yeah. That's what I told her. I was like, but that he was no shirt. He was just like this in the middle of the road. And the reason I
He was
knew-
standing up with his arms out.
yeah, like this. Like I guess like
Well, you gotta
suicidal
describe
or
it because it's
something.
audio only.
Well, his arms were like, just out to his sides, outstretched,
Yeah.
like he's waiting for someone like to come get a hug or something.
But,
Or
really
to get
more of
hit
a
by a
car
car.
going 80 miles an
he,
hour.
he wants to hug a 80 mile an hour speeding car.
yeah, but the reason I say
He
I
was
knew it was
waiting
like
for
a guy.
What'd you say? He was waiting for the warm embrace of death.
Oh, that was really good.
Probably,
Probably waiting for the warm
but
embrace of death.
I obviously did not hit him. And as we passed the gas station, there was no one there but one car. I'm guessing that was his car. And he was just like wanting to die or something. I don't know. But
I
I,
would think
looked
so.
up the news over the next couple of days and no one like got hit or anything.
Hmm.
So I don't know what the hell that was. It was weird though.
Yeah.
I remember it.
That's crazy.
So one time we were after school. I was at
But
Here.
mine's not a plot to throw you off to some movie. It actually happened to me.
Who would do that? Strange.
Jerks would.
Hey, I'm sorry. Y'all are the only two that couldn't figure
I'm
it out.
cutting all this out, by the way. I'm
Why?
leaving PJ's story in as real. So
To cut
one
out
day
sounded like
after
it was
school,
real.
after
He's
theater,
gonna cut out the real stories and leave my made up one.
so after theater rehearsal, one day went back in high school. We found this gold coin and cause like our school's the high school I went to is like maybe 50 years old. So and in the theater there's this elevator that's up and there's like a bunch of old props and old set pieces. and we were cleaning up. We were finally cleaning up because it was just getting to be a mess.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And-
crazy.
And then we found this gold piece.
So
Like
I got a
throws you
question though. Why were U.S. students having to clean that up,
Why not the faculty
or
or the janitor?
I don't know. I don't know. We did actually clean it up. though.
that's-
I'm
that's strange.
100%
Okay.
serious.
that's weird? Okay, free labor, I guess, with the students.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Part
All
of
right.
life.
And
It's interesting.
well, I guess the teachers didn't want to do it.
Mhm.
If the teacher did, it would have been by herself.
Okay, go on with your story. You don't have
And
to explain.
there was a bunch of crap up there, like a ton of
Okay.
crap.
Well, look at you students. That's
Okay.
nice of you guys. Okay. Carry on.
So like towards the once we got to the end of the pile
Mhm.
and we found a gold coin on the thing, we thought it was fake, and it had a 4-leaf clover on it.
Ooh,
Wow.
interesting.
And when we found it, like we all kind of just felt like, ugh. I don't know how to describe it. It was just like this bad feeling. Like we all got,
Oh yeah.
like we were all having fun. The music was playing. We had the music playing through the sound system in the auditorium.
So wait, y'all find a gold coin.
Yes.
Instead of being like, wow, look at this gold coin, y'all felt bad about it.
Yeah, it was
Like
just
you
kind of
felt
like
ill or like
it was just kind of like
your gut
ugh,
feeling.
like ugh.
It
You
just
know, like the
didn't feel
vibe.
right. Okay.
The vibe just went south after we found the gold
The
coin.
vibe.
Yeah,
Just vibing.
yeah.
Vibing south though.
So there was only a few of us there
Mm-hmm.
at the school left over because everybody.
Your hair is really weird right now.
There was only a few of us left at school after a while.
I couldn't
Oh, yeah?
pinpoint it.
And when the
Was there a leprechaun?
there may have been a little person in a
Idiot.
green suit.
Oh, was there?
Okay,
Oh,
so we
a
find the
green
coin.
suit.
We find the coin, and then our vibes kind of like go down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The music we're playing, it's still going on, and we're just like, what the freak is this gold coin? And we thought it was like a fake prop, you know? So we started trying to break it, but it didn't break. It
Why
was,
were you trying to break it?
I don't know. It was
They,
real.
they thought it was a chocolate covered gold coin.
It's
Yeah.
fake, so let's break the coin.
They thought it was a gold
well,
coin.
we
chocolate.
were trying to see
one
if
of
it
those
was.
chocolates wrapped in
stupid.
gold.
We were
Yeah.
excited, but I don't know. Felt kind of weird at the
doesn't
same
break.
time.
Yeah, it's fake. It's a fake gold coin.
This
We just wanted to see.
I don't
Okay.
understand.
So there was about like maybe 5 or 6 of us left at the school, including our director.
Why are you going back
so
to the beginning?
we're like, oh my god, we found a gold
blue
coin.
coin.
Well, I meant to say gold. We found a gold coin, and then
She's not into it.
we were sitting on the auditorium. We were standing on the stage, and then the way the school is, there's a big hallway that goes along the auditorium, and then we heard like clapping, clicking, clopping, like somebody had like
Clipping and
clops.
clocking?
What are those things called? The
Tap
clops?
shoes?
No, the ones that the tap dancers wear.
Tap shoes?
Oh, yeah, tap shoes, I guess. And then
You know the shoes that tap? What are these? What are those called?
The tap shoes that they wear. What are they called?
Yeah, when they wear them, they can tap with the shoes on. They're tapping shoes. What are
Well, I
they
thought
called
they were
again?
Did you
called
start hearing
clip
Irish
cloppings.
music play?
No,
You thought they were
No.
called click cloppers?
no. Okay,
Clickety
so then we start hearing that, and we're all freaking out because there's nobody else at the school besides us, and maybe a janitor or two. Because
Okay.
it's kind of late.
Why
already.
wasn't the janitor clip? Why didn't y'all think the janitor was clipping and clopping?
I don't know, because we never hear the janitor. So we hear the clipping and clopping, and then the door to the auditorium just blasts open, and in walks this little bearded man in a green suit with a green top hat. And he goes, "Oh, you found me gold coin."
Sounds like a leprechaun now.
Yeah, it was a leprechaun. And so he walks. He's
I'm
walking.
glad when AJ said leprechaun, you said there may have been a little short man in a green suit instead of saying yes.
It was
a leprechaun.
It was a leprechaun.
Okay.
He didn't. He looked more like the. He didn't look like the leprechaun movie. He looked more like the Honey Nut Cheerios or the Lucky Charms cereal leprechaun.
Oh, okay.
Cheerios
That
to
looks
be.
like a more friendlier one.
Yeah, he didn't look like a bad guy.
Okay.
And then we're like, number one, who are you? And number two, this isn't your gold coin. It's been up here. We just literally found it. And you're just gonna walk in here and say, "Oh, me gold coin." And we're like, knock it off with the fake Irish accent. You're a Mexican. It was a Mexican midget in a green thing. And
How
so
did he find out all of a sudden and was like came in perfect timing wearing a leprechaun suit?
we weren't really thinking. We were just thrown off about the Mexican man midget with the Irish accent. So we weren't really.
They're no
about-
longer called midgets. They prefer smaller people.
Well, smaller people. It was a smaller person. And
Well,
so
actually, they now like to be called the smaller ones.
he pulls out a Glock, and I'm like, we're like, whoa, dude, you can have it. You can have the gold coin. And then, so the girl who had the gold coin, she threw the gold coin at him.
You literally have been talking about this thing for like the past 20 minutes.
Really?
Go ahead.
Yawn.
Okay, I'm
You
sorry.
You lost us at you found a gold coin with the.
Okay.
4-leaf clover.
So
on it.
she throws the coin at him, and then all of a sudden his body starts convulsing, and then he just dies. And then we pick up the coin out of his hand, and it had a 4-leaf clover, a plant. And then the girl who threw it
the
at him
one
says,
already.
"That's
you mean
the only thing that can kill a leprechaun is a 4-leaf clover."
You mean the 4-leaf clover that was already on there?
Wow.
I'm confused.
And so
we
they
knew there was a 4-leaf clover on the gold coin.
No,
She,
it was an
she taped it to the coin and threw it at him.
she taped a real 4-leaf clover to the
I like
coin.
how
Where
I
did this?
I
Where
did
did she
that.
get
Clover
this
come
real
from?
four-leaf
She
clover?
She keeps it in her pocket,
Her name was Yancy, and she always had a 4-leaf clover, and she carried it with her.
and she knew that would be the only thing that killed the little Mexican leprechaun guy who
it
came in.
was a 6-leaf clover.
So it looked like the leprechaun I showed you.
So
sorry, listeners.
Philip
We
and his,
apologize that we fed you all of that just for the
Well,
last 20 minutes.
I have another story.
okay.
Is this a real story?
Okay. Have I told a fake one like you idiots over here?
I told a real one.
So this was when I have like a root canal here, or on this side.
I do not know.
Yeah.
no,
this.
this
No.
side. This
No,
side.
I didn't.
Well, I have a
I
root
didn't
canal
know.
here.
Is this
And
about a humanoid though? Because I
It's
mean,
about a human.
okay. Well, because
when I
the
went-
show started off with a humanoid story, so I was hoping that you had a humanoid story like
We'll
I
just
did
call him a humanoid
about
for
what
fun.
happened to me when we drove down the back roads.
That's true. Well,
I had a
it's still
humanoid.
like a creepy-ish story
Okay,
because I don't know what happened. But
I'm down with creepy.
when I went to the dentist,
I'm a creep.
getting the root canal done, they did the numbing stuff.
Yeah,
When they
The
didn't give
lidocaine?
me, they didn't give me like the gas or anything.
yeah. They give you lidocaine. They
and
inject
they
lidocaine to numb you.
injected it in, and it was terrible. But as I waited for it to like take the effect and go in there, the dentist went to another office and started doing work, and I just started hearing screaming and stuff. And it was just gonna be the movie The Dentist. That's all it was gonna be. I completely started laughing right away. He knew exactly where I was going with it.
Okay, let me tell a real story here. So,
Is this gonna be about a
Damn it.
humanoid?
Damn
no,
it.
it's not.
Okay, well then don't tell the story. We need something that is
But this one's a crazy story.
something.
The dentist.
It's not.
So
it's
I went to a friend's house,
Oh my god.
and his neighbor had this really big dog.
Oh, I
big
remember him,
was-
Cucho.
Was it red?
And the dog's name was Cujo. Okay, so my
I,
friend
I,
had
I think
a
the
pet.
listeners want to hear about actual things, not movies.
My,
guys.
Dead
my
giveaway.
friend, my
Dead
friend had a
giveaway.
pet that died.
Not Pet Cemetery.
My friend had a clown that lived in the sewers.
Not it. My friend's daughter was possessed.
I was
My friend went into a
me
poltergeist filled
and my
house.
friend went to a convenience store when a mist. came
So,
around.
no, but I want to tell about a true humanoid story that I actually came in encounter with.
I gotta try to make it super vague about what I'm talking about. The movie I'm talking about. Let's see.
So, no, it's serious. When I first moved into my home,
Mhm.
it was owned by we believe it was owned by two lesbians. I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
for a fact.
They're a
if it
bunch
was
of
two lesbians, but they were
shaped.
they were definitely well, they were definitely smokers. Is all I can say. Because this house, we had to I told before I bought the house, I was like, guys, y'all gotta air this thing out. You gotta somehow get this smoke smell.
Ozone. Do the
Yeah.
ozone.
And so they kept the windows open. They did a bunch of air things to get the smell out. I mean, it eventually went away, but so when we first moved in, okay, we we hadn't had a bed yet, so we finally purchased the bed. We got it in. We have cats, we have dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Was it to interrupt you? Was it the cats? Does the story end with a cat?
Was it the cat's meow?
Because
So
if it does,
it,
you've already told the story on this podcast.
no, not on one that you've posted. So, so
Okay.
when we first moved in, I always every time I fell asleep, I always felt like this. I don't know, it was weird. It's like I felt this presence in the bedroom. Okay. Have y'all ever felt like when y'all fall asleep, like you end up waking up and you kind of feel like there's something like around you?
Yeah, watching you or something.
Yeah.
Like sleep paralysis.
Yeah, like sleep paralysis, basically. And every now and then, every other night or so, I'd have this sleep paralysis thing going on me, and I'd always see like this weird figure of shadow in the back. I never got to see it, and I always feel the presence in the house, right? And so I'd always keep my gun. I always keep my gun near me, so if anything wakes me up, I wake up pretty easily.
Light sleeper.
So, brand new home. We got a new bed frame. What are you doing? So we got a new bed frame. Cats, animals walking. Our dogs are walking around everywhere. So one night in the middle of the night, probably 3:00 in the morning, all I hear is. Had I told you the story yet, AJ?
No.
Okay. It's real. No, this one's tell them this is a real story.
It is a real story.
Okay. So
No, it is.
Okay.
so sleep.
It's 100% real.
I just rolled my eyes because he's told it before, and I already know what's happening.
Well, AJ hasn't heard it, so I want to let him know. So
Oh, I thought it was fake. That's why I wasn't really listening.
okay. So anyway, bought a new home, got a new bed frame.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
don't have any furniture or anything like that. Sleep paralysis, having the waking up, feeling presences around us, and then shadows that we're seeing. I always every now and then I have a feeling, or I feel like I'm wide awake, but it might be in my dream. But I feel like my body levitating every now and then. Like I feel like I'm going upward. But one night, 3:00 in the morning, I hear. Right?
Specifically like that too.
Yeah. So I wake up my wife and I'm like, "Hey, babe, there's something in the house." And she's like, "What? What?" I was like, I don't know. You didn't hear that?" And she's like, "Well, what was it?" And I tried to make the noise. I was like, stuff, right? And she's like, "I didn't hear anything." So I go back to sleep. 2 days later, middle of the night again, I get that feeling of like there's a presence in the room again. And then all of a sudden I hear it again. I was like, "Oh, shoot." I wake her up again. I grab my gun. I'm like, "There's something. I don't know if it's a spirit or what. I'm going to shoot this thing. This thing's going to die." Okay? And so I wake her up. And I'm like, "Hey, there is something going on in this house, and I need you to be awake so that way I know whether I'm hearing this or not for real." Right? And she goes, "Fine." She's staying awake. And then, boom, it does it again while she's awake. Doesn't react at all, as though it like didn't happen. And I'm like, "Tell me you didn't just hear that right now." So I'm holding my gun in bed. I'm like, "Tell me you didn't hear that." And she's like, "Yes, I heard it." I was like, "So what the hell is going on? What is that?" She's like, "That's the cat." I'm like, "What do you mean that's the cat?" She's like, "She's in heat. She's climaxing.
Oh my gosh.
She's been pleasuring herself underneath the bed 3:00 in the morning. And when she climaxes, she makes demon noises that go."
Doesn't every woman?
I don't know, but that cat's the one who did it. Freaked me out. Especially if you have like sleep paralysis and you do like feel like this presence, and all of a sudden you have like the cat pleasuring herself under your new bed in a new home that you had never lived in. So imagine I'm thinking like this thing is haunted, and the whole time it's a cat pleasuring herself under my bed.
And you're wondering, why am I hearing it? And my wife, who's sitting right beside me, isn't hearing
Like
this.
ignoring it. Like she was just
I
like
can't stop
completely
looking at
ignoring
your
like the
freaking hair,
demon
dude.
noise. She's like completely ignoring the noise.
Every time. It's just...
It's just there.
It's crazy. I don't know.
Even do nothing with it.
Yeah.
Huh? Like, so it kind of freaked me out a little bit, but I'm kind of glad that this house ended up not being a haunted house. It was just a demon cat
Besides
noise.
your closet there.
Yeah,
Right.
your closet is
You
definitely.
mean our
haunted.
studio closet door?
Yeah, studio
Okay,
closet.
I got another story. So me.
Oh
and
yeah,
my-
you have any sleep paralysis lately, Jacob?
No, but I
Your
have
mic
had
is slowly falling down.
I have had a dream where me and my friends were all having weirdly strange dreams where this guy with
Did you hear that? That knock?
mhm.
That was AJ.
So me and my friends were all having strange dreams, and when we started talking about them, because one of my friends was like, "Hey, I've been having weird dreams about this guy who has a striped T-shirt and a burnt face with like kind of werewolf hands, clawed hands."
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, what the freak? I've had a dream like that. And then my other friend was like, yeah, I've had a dream like that too. And then my other friend was like, yeah, me too.
Like sharing dreams or something.
Yeah, like we were all sharing like the same dream. And
I've heard about that. People like being in each other's dreams, but not so much like I've heard about people sharing a dream. Like they'll talk to each other in the dream and they'll say, oh man, they'll talk to that friend and say, oh, I had a weird dream and you did this and I did this. And they'll be like, yeah. And then this happened. And then they're like, oh, like, yeah. So it's not unheard of.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't
Yeah.
know how that happens.
So
I'd had a dream like that before.
can you talk closer to the mic if you're going to talk?
Yeah, you keep not doing that. It's kind of annoying.
I am close. Do you see how
You need to
close
get
I am?
closer like
You need to
this.
get
You want me to
close.
talk like this?
Yes.
Like why though? You just need to pick me up more.
No.
Put more
That's
gain.
not how
go
it
ahead.
works. So we're all having this strange dream about this guy with wolf hands and a striped shirt.
Mm-hmm.
He had kind of like a fedora on too.
Mm.
Uh-huh. And we're like, okay, you're dreaming about him, I'm dreaming about. We must have like watched a movie or saw somewhere where we all saw the same thing, but
Like-
we couldn't think of anything.
What is it? Unconsciously or you're
Subconscious,
Subconscious, yeah.
subconsciously. Yeah. So then one of my friends, he wakes up with these scratches on him.
Hmm?
And I'm like, what the freak? You didn't scratch yourself, did you?
Was he like a sleepwalker or something?
I don't know. We thought he was scratching himself just to be like, oh, dude, this thing's happened.
Yeah.
But then another one of my friends woke up. He's having the same nightmare with the same guy with the striped shirt and the wolf hands.
Mm-hmm.
He,
Now, is it wolf hands, like actual like claws, or is it?
it's wolf hands with like
Okay.
really sharp nails.
Oh, okay.
So, my other friend comes and he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, I got the same thing. I'm scratched. He scratched me in the dream. Now I'm scratched in real life." And I'm thinking they're crazy because I haven't really had dreams about him.
AJ was telling the same story earlier.
He was?
He did the Freddy Krueger thing just
So
like not too long ago.
So AJ was doing the same story, so it's kind of like something that may be going around. You can
Yeah.
cut that part out.
What a freaking moron.
Okay, so my other friends had woke up with the scratches on his thing, and
Uh-huh.
we're like, "Okay, you two are just trying to
On their
prank us."
thing?
No, on their body.
Okay.
And we're like, dude, you guys are just trying to prank us. Because me and my other friends, we hadn't had the dreams about the werewolf guy with the striped shirt on, the fedora. And so one night, another one of my friends had the same thing happen where he got scratched. And I was like, okay. And
Whoa.
so y'all are all working together. And then another friend happened. And then finally it happened to me. And so I was like, this is weird. We're dreaming about this wolf man and it's scratching all of us. So what we did was we decided to meet up in the dream because we were all dreaming about the same place. So we
Mhm.
decided to meet up and like maybe together
Mhm.
we could fight it off. And
But it wasn't a dream, so why would you want to fight it off together?
so we could fight him in the dream, the wolf man.
Oh, the Wolfman.
Yeah. One of my friends even came up with like a little song for it. It says 1, 2, Wolfman's coming for you.
All right, you just
3,
lost
4,
it.
You better
You
lock
really need to
your
like
door.
condense down these
5,
stories
Yeah.
because you
6,
talk like 20 minutes
seven,
Make it-
going over
6,
details that's
7,
obviously a lie that makes it all
Stay
this
up
like.
late. 9, 10, Wolfman's coming again.
What was that?
So I want to go, since now that we've kind of gone over the humanoid thing and we've kind of given over our own experiences of what's happened.
Well,
to
I
us.
gave up one. Y'all haven't given up anything really.
I've given up a real one.
Oh,
for
your
real.
stupid cat story.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. The other one was
Well, no-
the other one. Yes,
Honestly, nothing strange has ever happened to me.
yes. The other one was Jeepers Creepers. Okay, I'll admit. Okay, I'll admit it. I just didn't have a good humanoid story like I was hoping.
I shouldn't have said nothing. They would have believed you. Shouldn't have said nothing.
I knew it was
No,
fake.
you didn't.
I just didn't know it
No,
was
you-
Jeepers
I
Creepers.
always tell good stories that have happened to me in real life, okay? But the cat thing is real, and I used to have sleep paralysis, and so the cat thing really did freak me out. But
I can understand why.
yeah. But I kind of want to talk about something that has another conspiracy, not necessarily. Well, yours was kind of like a far out thing. This one's kind of like far out but conspiracy theory that ended up like taking the internet by storm.
Uh-huh.
And it all started with a guy on Reddit
Mm-hmm.
and wrote something about Finland not really being
Real.
real. Had you seen that before?
I've heard about it, but I didn't like dig into the details of why and everything.
Okay, so the the guy gets on Reddit and he writes about how Finland is not real, and he writes this whole giant paragraph of how Finland is not real, and so he actually ended up getting like multiple people to believe that Finland was not real, and so I kind of want to read. And I mean, to this day, there are still some people who are like, oh no, that makes a lot of sense. That
Well, there's also like 90 plus people who drank poison Kool-Aid and died. because
Exactly.
the guy told them.
So there's let me read it to you guys. So it's on Reddit and it's still there to this day. It was written 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Finland conspiracy, all you need to know about it. This is a subreddit designed to discuss the blah 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 blah. The Finland conspiracy states that Finland is not a real country. Not only is it not a real country, but there is actually no landmass there at all. The space between Sweden and Russia is actually empty ocean. Now I realize that this notion seems ridiculous, but that is why the conspiracy works and why people are afraid to speak out against the existence of Finland. So I would ask you to approach the evidence I've put forward here with an open mind. Finland was first created sometime during the Cold War between Russia and the West. It was also around the time that environmentalists and the idea of preserving our planet was really taking off, and it is due to both of those things that two of the main players in the Finland conspiracy came to work closely with each other, Russia and Japan. Japan-Soviet relations had always been shaky at best, but also incredibly secretive. Even as early as the 1925 Japan and Soviet Union had secret deals with each other regarding fishing rights between the two countries, with the Soviet Union giving up much of their fishing rights to Japan with seemingly no explanation as to why. These secretive treaties and alliances continued right up until just before the fall of the Soviet Union. Gorbachev made trips to Japan. Did y'all know that Gorbachev made trips to Japan? Months
Nope.
before the fall of the Soviet Union, stating the entire time how the relationships between them were improving, even when Soviet relations with the rest of the world were worsening. In fact, the entire 100 years of Japan-Russia relations began up at... I feel like I don't need to read all of this. So
No, you
anyway,
don't.
So basically, the Japan. So let me read this last section on it because I'm skipping down to the bottom to get to the gist of why Finland doesn't exist.
Yes.
Japan can fish in the region of ocean between Sweden and. So basically, by creating a fake country
They
like
have
Finland,
monopoly on the ocean.
they have a monopoly in the. So everybody thinks that this landmass exists, but it doesn't, right? And so by doing that, Japan can fish in the region of the ocean between Sweden and Russia without worrying for environmental repercussions. After all, nobody's going to expect fishing regulations to be broken in a place where everyone thinks that there's a landmass. And in return, Russia gets a percentage of the fish distributed amongst their populace. It's a simple case of fishing and it's a simple case of fishing the Fishin Sea, transporting it across Russia. So basically,
I thought it was gonna be something along the lines of why Finnish people look Asian, and they thought he was gonna say like Japanese people are masquerading as Finnish people.
so basically, they say that because they wanted to continue fishing and creating all these things and saying it's an environmental thing, they created this landmass called Finland. And now they also mentioned that Japanese really like sushi, and so that's why they created this landmass called Finland. And now the Japanese and Russia have a little conspiracy amongst themselves that there's no such thing as Finland.
That's a big area.
Yeah, the Baltic Sea, which is by Sweden and them, is actually one of the most toxic seas.
Yeah.
Because Finland and all of those countries dump all their waste into the Baltic Sea.
Yeah. So they say, what about Helsinki?
Helsinki?
Yeah. That is an enormous city on the world stage that they say is in Finland. So the answer they give is that Helsinki is actually located in eastern Sweden. It is not like the people flying there would notice. So basically, they're just saying like that's just an open area, and where people end up landing is actually Sweden, not actually Finland.
So
in different areas over there.
So how do they not get caught saying, "Oh, we're in Finland," and Swedish people aren't like, "No, you're in Sweden."
So there's the thing, right? So one of the things says, what about everywhere else in Finland? There's a lot to it, and it couldn't have all been made up. 99% of Finland is forest. A lot of it does not need to be accounted for and addressed.
But that just doesn't make any sense because the little that it does, you think they would say, yeah, we're in Sweden.
Why do other countries go along with it? I'm glad you keep asking these questions. At first, it was a sign of goodwill between Western countries and the Soviet Union, a bargaining chip that could be played. But Finland has since evolved to something much more, an idealistic placeholder for what countries should aspire to. No real country could be consistently placed first in education, healthcare, gender equality, literacy rates, national stability, the least corrupt government in the world, freedom of the press. It's a concept of the country and people to aspire to. But that's where the problem about Finland's existence is disputed. No country in the world can possibly be that good.
True. No one can be best at everything.
I mean, if you zoom into Finland and if you look at it in Google Maps, it's a lot of like bunch of
boggy
lakes.
area.
Yeah. And so
Is that the
it's
right word, boggy?
So why do you think it's called Finland after what I've told you about
Because
Japan?
of all the fish, the fin. It's like a
Fin, yeah, it's a play on words that they say
Finland.
the country was originally made for fishing. What do fishes have? Fins, thus Finland.
My question is, now that you've said all this, how can anyone ever believe this crap that he's spewing out? Like, this is absolutely ridiculous.
They do have a lot of lakes and rivers.
Explain Google Maps
Well, I would have to tell you that.
and satellite pictures.
Yeah, well, what about GPS and satellite images? It's manipulated and forged. In the part of Estonia, Sweden, and Russia that are located as Finnish zones, the GPS locations are changed to match that of Finland. Satellite images are forged. And then it has a link to see how it really looks. There's no body of land there.
Wow.
And is this true? It's not. The guy just made it up, and everybody believed it.
Wow. What a surprise.
Have y'all heard the?
Do you believe everything you
Have
read
It
on the
seems
internet?
very hard to believe anyways. Like, he just went, like, with the minimum of, like, going deep into why it is. It's just like, oh, this.
I'm
and that.
about to tell you a conspiracy that's gonna. Blow
I think he just saw, oh,
your
Gorbachev went
minds.
to Japan quite a bit, so let me run with something like that. That would make sense.
I'm gonna tell you a conspiracy that's gonna blow your mind.
Well, I just think I like the imagination of people, like the fact that they came up, like I
I
didn't
just
go,
came up with it.
I didn't.
okay,
I didn't.
let
read,
me tell you
no,
an even
I'm
wilder
not
one.
done. Why do you always
Let
do
me tell
this?
you a wilder
You're gonna make
one.
me act like Daniel.
Go.
Anyway,
Fucking funny. It's just not fucking funny.
but this is why I like this dude, because I mean he literally wrote a whole story like in detail of why the reason Finland doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just like came up with this whole thing out of thin air,
Yeah.
and people believed it.
And they went with it like, yeah.
People
Now that I
make
think
up-
about it, Finland doesn't exist.
People make up conspiracies all the time, and people believe them.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Pissing in your pants for having. There's this one
Whoa.
hoax
What?
where they got women to have their periods with their pants on, or piss in their pants for feminism, and women were peeing in their pants or having their periods in their pants for feminism,
How's that a conspiracy theory?
because it was all just a joke.
But
And
they
a bunch of women were like, pissing in my pants for feminism.
They went with it.
Hold on.
yeah.
Okay,
But
you want me to tell you an
I
even
think
wilder
I just
one?
like the imagination of some of these people and the things.
Okay, let me tell you another conspiracy, and it is about
Shoot me with it.
birds and how birds
Are part of
Are-
the bourgeoisie.
are fake. The only real birds are the chickens, the ostriches, the turkeys, the birds that we eat.
All the
Land
ones
ones.
you just named don't fly.
Yes, the birds that don't fly are
Good
all
catch.
Interesting.
real. Okay, so what you see, the birds
Is
that
what
you
you get.
see is robots. They're robot
Robots.
birds that are spying on us. And the reason the birds have to rest or nest on the power lines is to recharge their batteries so they can continue spying on us.
You know what's funny is I heard people say that before, and I caught a bird
Mm-hmm.
and I literally cut it up.
Okay.
There was guts and stuff inside of it.
Well,
Explain
that's
that.
easily explainable.
Bam.
Okay, so they
Conspiracy solved. It's
they
real birds.
put fake guts and guts. They make it look real. You know, have you ever seen a movie?
Real.
Have you ever seen a movie?
Zoinks.
Have you ever seen a movie?
I've seen many of
And
movies.
the guts and
What?
they look
No.
real.
What are these movies?
What is these movies
What they
you
have
speak
is
of?
these nanites, these nanobots, these nanites. They're in the thing, and that's what's
They're
the
in
rope.
the thing.
Yes,
Well,
they make
hold
up
on.
the skeletal structure. of it.
Okay, well, first of all, you actually said that they were robots,
No,
and now you're saying nanobites.
they're nanites. You know, not no domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. No, domo arigato, Mr. Nanobato.
Oh, that makes more sense. Domi
Yes.
arigato, Mr. Nanobato.
Not nanobotato. Not nanobato.
How does that make more sense?
It's like nanomobato. You know, like nano animal bato.
Oh,
Nanomobato.
It's like
Domo
you're like
arigato, Mr.
anti-mammal.
Nanomobato.
like
Domo.
animal. You're
Nanomo.
anti-mammal.
That's-
Anti-man.
that's
So these-
actually Spanish for animal.
An-
Animal.
Animal.
Animal is Spanish for animal.
So
It's a joke
the
on
reason they
Dad.
want this 5G is so the nanites in the fake birds that they use can transmit and track us even better. So because the 3G and the 4G wasn't that great.
So,
now
so you didn't think that flying bird that I ate, like the nanobots are in me?
You ate it? You never said you ate it.
Well, I ate a bird that was flying. I thought it
You
was
ate a wild bird?
yeah,
Interesting.
a pheasant.
Oh, now it's a pheasant.
Well, you said I ate a bird
Uh-huh.
that flew.
Uh-huh.
I'm now naming it that it's a pheasant.
Oh, you need to get into more details. Something you
Yes.
should have done earlier.
Okay, well I apologize.
okay, well maybe
So I ate a flying bird. It was a pheasant. We went hunting. We shot the bird.
huh?
We cooked it. We ate it. Do I now have
I-
nano Mr. Robotos in me?
Well, that was probably a real bird. Because
But you said
people-
non-flying birds. I mean, you said flying birds are not real.
Okay, well that bird may have been real. There may have been flying birds that are real.
You think
But let
maybe
me-
they're
let
just
me-
mixing them into the
Let
real?
me. Do you know why they don't let you shoot birds and kill them and eat them? It's because they're
Well, I just shot.
The
I told you I
fake-
shot and ate a bird.
yes, though that was a real bird. Some of the flying. I don't mean all flying birds are not real. I mean most of the flying birds are not real. They're made of nanobites, nanomobatos. And the conspiracy world, if you
Why do
really
you have to
want,
say it like that?
if you really,
Nanomobatos.
because it was
That's how you pronounce it. Nanobabatos.
it was Yoshi Namamoto who discovered this that the birds were just robots that charge on power lines. That's why they don't explode when they go on power lines. They're charging up their batteries. And he coined the term nanomobato because they're nanites that are animals and they're bots. So the bird you killed may have been real. Now, the fake birds that have the fake guts, they're when you cook them, it turns into plastic and becomes inedible. That's why you're not allowed to eat random birds.
Like wild birds.
So
that's
if you
why
go-
they tell you.
so-
That's why like the FDA says don't eat these birds, don't eat wild birds.
So the reason they do not allow you to eat bald eagles, mockingbirds in Texas, blue jays in Toronto,
Well, that's because that's their national bird.
that's what they want you to think.
No,
'Cause
that's what
they're
they
fake.
have.
California condors, just like giant
The
Spying
grizzly
things.
bears are also not fake. They're real.
Okay. I feel like you didn't need to say that.
So
Snails also not fake, they're real.
So, I guess I'm confused
okay,
because
go ahead.
Why are they spying on
when
us
you
then?
when you first said about something that's gonna blow my mind, you said all flying birds are not real.
Okay.
And then I gave
Do you
an
know what
example.
hyperbole is? Do you know what hyperbole is? It means you exaggerate. It means you're exaggerating. So
can I take
exaggerating
this conspiracy
I
as you
say-
just over exaggerating?
No, it's real. It's 100% real. Birds are fake. They charge
My
themselves
butt's
on
sweaty. I
power
gotta
lines.
air it out. I got swamp ass. I got something that's gonna blow your
And
mind.
Let me
This shotgun.
So let me tell you about the pigeons. You know, pigeons are like rats. They eat anything.
Yeah.
Now, the nanobots, the nanomobatos, and the pigeons, they got confused, and the programming, they were supposed to just eat worms, you know, seeds, nuts, fruits. They just eat everything because they're nanomobatos. And the nanomobatos.
So what about- what
Mr.
about-
Roboto, domo obrigado,
So-
Mr. Roboto.
It's just the birds here in the U.S.
No, everywhere. Yoshi Namamoto.
So even
discovered
the
this.
the Chinese people that eat pigeons,
They're eating
Yes,
plastic.
They're eating
they're eating
plastic.
plastic.
Hello, fake food. They
What
have
about-
tons of fake food in China.
What about
They even sell fake grapes.
What about the like bird's nest soup?
Now, bird's nest soup is actually made with the programming of the birds. So the birds are programmed to make nests just like the ones. Can you play that video again about the bourgeoisie? Okay, can you play that? I need that as background before I continue.
Let me play it real quick for us.
Okay,
Let me find it.
so we're gonna play you a little background clip.
All of the birds died in 1986 due to Reagan killing them and replacing them with spies that are now watching us. The birds work for the bourgeoisie.
Don't trust them. So you now let's get back into the little history of this. So there's this chemical called DDT. Do y'all remember what DDT was? It was this anti-parasitic drug that was made by Monsanto to wipe out the ticks or some type of bug. And what this had an alternating effect on the birds. You see, instead of they found out that it was actually killing all the birds because it made their shells soft. So instead of when they would lay the eggs, their eggs would just break open. You can look this up. DDT affects birds. Google it. Do your research. I'm not telling you what to believe. Look into it. Look into it. Look into it. So Yoshi Namamoto, Mr. Roboto, discovered the nanomobato.
It is spelled.
Where was I?
BOU
Where was I?
RGE
I'm sorry, guys.
OI.
Where was I?
Say that again.
BOU
Mhm.
RGE IOS IE.
I'm sorry, guys. Where was I? What were we talking about? I was telling you about DDT. And we were talking about China. Where were we?
You said DDT was created by Monsanto's to kill parasitic stuff.
Yes, before that. When I told you, look up the video before that. We're talking about
background
China.
stuff and how they eat the bird's nest soup and how.
Oh, yes. The bird's nest soup. So they modeled the bird's nests off of real birds. So that's why they're eating the bird's nest. They're not eating the bird. So that's why it's a bird's nest soup.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Dog come from.
Okay, and PJ, you asked me earlier,
Yes.
why would they want to spy on us?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all wondering that.
Okay. Now, all the footage that they're collecting through these birds is actually useless, right? Because the government doesn't care about most people.
Yeah, they
But
gotta have
let's
some
say-
kind of stuff to say. Look out for this. Look out for that.
Yeah. Okay. So they don't care about most of us, but let's say they do care about somebody. What these birds can do is track every single person. They can go through the years of footage on them and find out some kind of incriminating evidence. I mean, it doesn't even have to be like something crazy, like you murdered a person or something. It can be something simple as
So they might get me for like using red mulch instead of using like
yes,
degradable.
yes. Any little
Villain.
thing that
You're
they
a
can
villain.
find.
Red mulch is degradable.
Okay.
That's why I have to buy it every year.
Okay. So let's say you
Black mulch.
let's say you use the wrong mulch and they can get you in jail for like a day.
Okay.
So what they do is they get you to lie, and then they say, "Oh, you lied to a federal agent, so that's a higher crime." And then you say, "No, I didn't. I was just trying to. I just misunderstood." They say, "I don't care. It's the law," and then that's how they get you in prison, and that's how they lock up any dissidents.
That's how they Jerry Epstein you.
Oh snap!
You see, Jeffrey and Ghislaine are innocent.
Yeah, what happened to that story, by the way?
Yeah, I thought you were
So
gonna have a lot of
next-
stuff on
Keep
that.
saying you have a bunch of stories and
Well, next semester.
He's never
Not
gonna
next
bring it to us,
semester.
just like he never posts up our previous podcasts.
Well, I'm too busy talking about the birds and them being fake. And I don't even want to go into another one that space is fake. So if y'all really want to go down that rabbit hole, I mean, if you want to realize your whole world is fake, birds are fake, space is fake.
We actually talked about space being fake before and our souls being reincarnated.
well, that
and different dimensions and how possibly someone would get to the different dimensions through a probe of sorts.
well,
So I think we had a good time today on our Far Out Dudes. I think we've brought some things for you guys to think about it. The humanoid of Georgia.
Faceless.
The faceless
The faceless
humanoid
thing
in,
of
in Georgia. How
Dahlonega?
Finland
Something.
is not real, doesn't
Not real.
exist, never has been there. It was a conspiracy between Russia and Japan because Japan likes a lot of fish, from what I read on Reddit. And then we have the fake birds from the Reagan era when now they spy on us.
Yep.
they're part of the bourgeoisie.
Yeah, so we just want to thank you all for listening. We thank you for taking the time to listen to us. Comment down below what you would like to hear about. If the show wasn't funny enough for you guys, too bad. We thought it was funny.
I think this is one of those filler episodes we
Yeah.
put in when we go on vacation.
No, but seriously, though, we want to thank you all for listening. Comment down below what y'all want to hear about next. If y'all want us to research anything. Next week, we hope to have Skinwalker Ranch or
Ghislaine and Jeffrey.
Ghislaine and
Ghislaine
Jeffrey
and
Epstein. Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein. Hit us back. Hit us up. Let us know what you think. Far Out Dudes Conversation is down
I
and
think
out.
you should redo that.
Thank you. Hit us up. Bound, chicka chow chow.
Hide your kids, hide your wife, because the birds are part of the bourgeoisie.
Boop.
Look into it.
Let me use your headphones.